Latest update: Sean P. Daddy Combs' mother, Janice Combs, has finally made a statement. "How are you doing, Mom? All is well, sweetie. I care about you. I care about you as well. You care about him too much. So, I came forward to help take care of and bring up. That's my position. Bad things are all around us. That's a warning to everyone. Stay alert." Kimora Lee has returned to public attention after criticizing Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, for her supposed involvement in harming his twin daughters, Jessie and Delilah. She's speaking very directly. It seems Janice has been making those young women work for quite some time, preparing them for adult situations and slowly bringing them around inappropriate men they shouldn't be near. What makes it even worse is that Diddy never tried to prevent this. Even though he was aware of everything happening, people are saying the twins are now so damaged that thinking about attending university scares them, and they even struggled to get through their high school ceremony. Additionally, they're now dealing with the real chance of losing their home and not being supported. If Diddy loses his legal battle because the government will take away everything he earned through illegal activities, things don't look promising, however. Kimora Lee won't just sit quietly and let her best friend's children be abandoned because of their father's actions. She's doing everything possible to ensure the kids are protected and that Janice Combs faces consequences for what she did to them. So, what did Kimora actually say about Diddy and Janice? Is it real that she's attempting to gain legal custody of the girls? Let's explore this further. Pay attention to when this legal case was filed, probably around 2 years back. You'll see that's when all these attacks began coming from my former partner. Diddy might be facing trial currently, but the whole Combs family is now being closely examined. And online investigators have noticed that the Combs twins appear to be struggling the most. Jessie and Delilah have been attending court with their brothers and other family members to show support for Diddy. However, according to sources, this is all just a fake display by Diddy's public relations team and legal representatives to make it appear like the family is united and content. The truth is that Diddy's family is breaking down under stress, and it has been particularly difficult for the girls because hearing about Diddy's alleged wrongdoings in complete detail has been overwhelming for them. According to sources, Chance, Jessie, Delilah left the courtroom at various times during the proceedings, especially when a former adult worker testified and revealed shocking information about what Diddy forced him to do with Cassie during inappropriate gatherings. Now, anyone would be disturbed to learn about their father doing some of the most terrible things one person has ever done to another. But for two 18-year-olds who lost their mother in a tragic way, it's especially painful. But this isn't the only reason Jessie and Delilah responded so intensely to what they witnessed in the courtroom. Part of it comes from them understanding that this was the lifestyle their father and grandmother, Janice, was getting them ready for. Janice took on the role of a mother for Christian and the girls after Kim died, but word is that it wasn't pleasant at all. Not only was Janice completely unlike Kim, but she also supposedly pushed Christian to copy his father's behavior while forcing the girls into a way of living that was far too grown up for them. If you understand what I'm saying, this doesn't come as a shock because there have been stories about how Janice played a major part in how Diddy became who he is. Diddy had a very difficult childhood where he saw a lot of violence and adult content that influenced how he saw the world. His father, Melvin Combs, was a well-known criminal leader in Harlem who would hurt and sometimes kill people in front of young. Sean Diddy later shared in a 2006 film about how learning that his father was a criminal who got killed while living dangerously forever changed how he saw himself. While growing up, my mother always said he died in a car crash. I always felt something was strange about the story, because whenever I was on the street or around street criminals, street folks, they would always try to give me money or always show me respect. So I wondered if my father was a gangster. Why do people respect my father's name? I kept asking my family, and nobody would actually tell me. They said, "You need to really speak to your mother about it." So my first time in university, I did the investigation, and the investigation showed me that my father had his head blown off on Central Park West, and my mother, I remember the day they said that my mother had brought me to the funeral in the full-length fur coat. It was like a relief, you know what I mean? Because I finally understood that what I was feeling was real. You know what I mean? That I was the son of a criminal or a gangster. Throughout all this, Janice was too focused on being Melvin's wife. To protect Diddy from the violence in their world, she was supposedly very tough on Diddy and didn't care that Diddy used to get picked on by older kids when he was small. Things became worse after Melvin's death, as Janice now had to work several jobs to survive. During daytime, she was a teacher's helper and school bus operator. But at night, she was a paid companion. According to sources, Janice would bring her customers to their home and sometimes let Diddy watch these meetings. This clearly had a very harmful effect on how he viewed women, especially women in his family. Diddy's mom is now being blamed for having adult parties in front of Diddy when he was young. Honestly, now hearing this, I'm not really shocked because I always believed that Janice Combs knew more than what she was admitting. Diddy's childhood best friend claims that Diddy's mother, Janice Combs, would often host wild gatherings at his childhood house, where it was normal to walk into a room where adults were being intimate. Diddy's childhood friend believes this could be why Diddy ended up at the center of a federal organized crime and human trafficking investigation where he is accused of making his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, join in inappropriate activities. He stated, "I've been asked, why do you think this happened to Diddy?" And he said, "I don't know why, but I really think it all comes back to his childhood." Diddy himself admitted to developing an addiction to adult content from a young age and losing his innocence at age 12. This first time I was 12. I used to watch this show called Midnight Blue. It's like this adult channel here in New York. So the first time I was intimate because I wasn't afraid, I remember it felt so good to me. But wait, it gets more disturbing. Stories have been going around about how Diddy and Janice's relationship is more complex than just mother and son, and not in a good way. Actually, word is that Janice was the one who introduced Diddy to these inappropriate gatherings, and they regularly had these encounters with other people. These stories got even stronger when a video of Diddy kissing Janice on the lips came back to attention. But that's not even the most disturbing part of the video. The video shows Diddy and his mother connected to medical drips, and Diddy says they're recovering. We've heard testimony from Cassie talking about how Diddy used to give her medical fluids to recover from the days-long inappropriate gatherings. Another thing people noticed was that Janice was wearing white nail color, which Cassie also said Diddy used to make her do as part of her preparation for these gatherings. He specifically requested white nail, color, or French tips so her hands could stand out against the bodies of the male workers he hired. Oh, but that's not everything. Diddy clearly learned a lot from his mom, including making your children participate in the dangerous, illegal things you do. I mean, what other reason is there for the fact that Diddy's sons, Justin and Christian, were both named in his legal cases? Christian even has a separate legal case against him with claims that seem very similar to the claims in the Diddy cases. The child really turned out just like the parent. Unfortunately, the girls also got pulled into Diddy's strange lifestyle. Whispers have been going around that Janice didn't just take on the mother role for the twins after Kim Porter died. She also began preparing them to one day be valuable to their father someday. So when they left the courtroom after hearing some testimony, it wasn't just because their sensitive hearts couldn't handle it. They also supposedly felt upset because that could have been their future if Diddy had not been arrested. Part of them probably also finally believed the stories that their mother went through the same thing Cassie did. The violence, the inappropriate gatherings, the secret surgeries to fix the harm, the watching, all of it. It's beginning to make sense to them. But here's the thing. Diddy's children might appear like they're all happy and supporting their father, but word is that this is all just a plan by Diddy's legal team and public relations team. The reality is that they all want to leave the situation before it becomes too late. After their high school ceremony, Jesse and Delilah announced that they were not going to university and would rather work on their clothing business and get into commerce. However, people began wondering if there might be a deeper reason why the girls don't want to go to university, at least right now. According to inside sources, the girls have had such a difficult time these past 2 years that facing university and dealing with people who might treat them strangely because of Diddy's legal problems is not something they can handle. The only good thing in all this is that they have the one person who will always be a safe place for them, their mother's best friend, Kimora Lee. Now, for the past almost 10 years, Kimora has tried to keep her promise to Kim about her children. After Kim died, Kimora promised to make sure her kids would always be protected. In her emotional tribute to Kim, she said, "At your memorial service today, it became completely real that you are not returning. I cannot stop weeping, but I will stay strong for you. Gone far too early, I am in disbelief. To my wonderful friend and sister, I love you. Between us, we have 8 children who are all family. We are, and will always be, relatives. I will watch over yours, and you will watch over and guide us all." What a wonderful, caring, bold soul to have lost. We love you always. May God bless your path. We will never stop weeping for you. However, Kimora has faced so many obstacles from both Diddy and Janice. According to sources, Diddy and Janice purposely tried to keep Kimora away from the children, especially the twins, because they knew being around Kimora was going to make them question everything about their upbringing and their mom's death. No, I'm not really certain, but I've been through a lot. I've experienced a lot. Again, like I'm sitting here with my children in my home. Easy to locate me, not running, not hiding, not doing any of that. And so to have these constant attacks is just kind of insane. And it's not just by telling their workers not to let Kimora visit the kids or trying to prevent Kimora's children from spending time with them. Supposedly, Kimora has also been intimidated and threatened constantly, making her take a break from social media and disappear for some time. Kimora returned online after Cassie's legal case was filed and posted this mysterious message on her. "Stories, what you plant, you will harvest. But guess what?" Just a few days after making that post, Kimora's home mysteriously caught fire while she and her children were inside. Young Kimora Lee Simmons' house then caught fire, and people are blaming Diddy. We spread the warning about Sid. "Be careful, Kimora," we warned her, and Lord, her house actually caught fire. This is incredible. Keep watching. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but Kimora understood the message. Someone didn't want her investigating Diddy's problems or showing support for Cassie. Kimora could easily recognize Diddy's indirect warnings because this wasn't the first time he had done something like that. In a 2004 interview with the New York Magazine, Kimora revealed that Diddy threatened her with physical harm when she was expecting. The article says there was a nasty argument when Kimora said something to Combs and he threatened to hurt her, and I was pregnant. The woman says Kimora. The article also mentions that Diddy eventually got down on his knees in public to say sorry to Kimora, who added, "I respect him for being a strong businessman, and I appreciate knowing that everything he does is copying my husband." This incident happened a few years before Kim died, and it was interesting that Kimora said Diddy was imitating her ex-husband, Russell Simmons, because Russell is also a known predator who has been accused of attacking and being violent with women. However, none of this has stopped Kimora from seeking justice for Kim Porter and protecting the children she left behind. And now that it's looking like Diddy is failing in court, Kimora is trying to be around the children more and keep protecting them. But do you guys think Janice will try to keep Kimora away from the twins? And do you think Janice needs to face consequences along with Diddy? Let's hear your thoughts in the comments, and then check out this next.